REED-BBS, BBS, Black Bert Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies, Televisión, Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. Terence Bud Crawford improves to 36-0, 27 KOs, defending his WBO welterweight title with a 9th round stoppage of Egidijus Mean Machine Kavaliauskas. The end result was a surprise to no one, but the journey to that result was a bit of a surprise, a mild surprise, a lukewarm surprise. I did my homework on Mean Machine, 2-time Olympian repping Lithuania, an aggressive come forward type of dude, so I was thrown off by his press conference comments. Going straight ahead to Crawford is not an option. Don't want to go very wild at him. Until these comments, I saw the potential for an action fight, I really did. But then I questioned Kavaliauskas' choice of tactics, and I was proven wrong. Ultimately, I was proven wrong. I underestimated Mean Machine's ability to box off his back foot, his counterpunching, and his timing, his sense of timing. And so did Bud Crawford. Bud, he came out southpaw, man, but more times than not, his lead foot was parallel or inside of Mean Machine's. And with his lead foot inside, Bud was in the line of fire for more right hands than he should have been hit with. A nice one, too, got his attention in the second round, and then a looping lead right hook. It forced Bud to lurch forward and touch the canvas. Now, right after the fight, to this day, Crawford will say it wasn't a knockdown, but it was. It was a Zab Judah versus Floyd type of knockdown. I'm not making much of it at all. It was more of a flash knockdown, but a knockdown nonetheless. But, of course, he's proud, he's competitive, and he's a straight-up asshole in that ring. He started holding the phone with his left hand to block Kavaliauskas' rights, so he pretty much nullified it right there. And he started stalking and punishing Mean Machine. The beauty of Bud Crawford, see, everybody's like, oh, man, he switches. The beauty of Bud is not that he can switch. It's when he switches stances. That's the beauty of it. It's not just a party trick to him. Ooh, look at me. I can fight southpaw. Ooh, now I can fight orthodox. No. In this case, after a beautiful toe-to-toe exchange, it backed Kavaliauskas to the ropes in the 7th. And real subtly, Bud shifted to righty before Kavaliauskas could notice or adjust to it, and he got dropped with a right hook behind the ear. Very subtle switch, man. There was another one. The 3rd and final knockdown was pretty also. So after dropping him for the 2nd time in the fight, Bud's walking towards Mean Machine like he's getting ready to set up a left-hand finish. But then he pauses mid-stride, and he snuck him with a right-hand lead. Bow! Church! It was pretty, man. It was pretty. You seeing the replay of it right there. It was pretty, man. Good fight. Good card. Quality finish. Nearly 1.7 million peak views. Peak views? A bit down from last year's Heisman Trophy following card, but it is what it is. After the fight, Tim Bradley, he got on his faux soapbox. He's like the mascot of Top Rank. He's like the barking Chihuahua dog. Tim Bradley, he personally called out all of the PBC welterweights to face Terence Crawford. In good news, Bob Arum is now confident Spence Crawford will be easily negotiated whenever Spence's health improves. Whenever that happens, we got to get word on that. And I quote, Wilder Fury 2 will be one of a number of fights between Top Rank and PBC, some on ESPN, some on Fox, others on pay-per-view. There is now peace among promoters. We'll see how true Bob Arum is to those words, and if PBC and Al Heyman will hold up to them. But us as boxing fans, whichever preference you have, I just want to see the fight. Yeah, I'm more of a Spence guy, but I cut for Bud too. I just want to see the fight. It's the responsibility of all of us as fans, podcasters, what have you, to push and pressure both sides to stay true to this and make sure this happens. In the interim, Top Rank is pushing for Crawford versus Porter. But these dudes are like legit boys. They're going to have a sit-down conversation as men to determine if it's even worth it. Friendship or fight or what have you, or even the terms. And beyond all that, Porter's preferring Pacquiao first anyway. Jose Ramirez, he wants to fully unify before moving up to face Crawford. So it's really unclear what Bud's next move is. I'm sure they'll scrounge up and find a new mandatory for him, but there's no clear route. There's no clear route to a next opponent, but at least there's communication with the other side of the so-called street, if nothing else. So we can at least have hopes for 2020 on that note. REED-BBS, Black Bert Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Televisión, Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing else to say or do.